So today we're diving into entrepreneurship, the exciting, sometimes chaotic world of starting and managing new ventures. It's a topic that seems to always be on the rise, especially with so many people aiming to turn their ideas into businesses. What do you think makes the whole process so captivating?
Well, for one, there's this allure of independence and being your own boss. But I think it's also about the challenge. You're not just selling a product or service, you're building something from scratch, navigating constant uncertainty, and having to adapt quickly. It's the kind of challenge that pulls a lot of people in.
Right. And it all starts with that initial idea, which is often the hardest part, right? It's like, how do you know if your idea is really going to work or just a cool concept that doesn't go anywhere?
Exactly. The idea itself is just the beginning. You've got to validate it somehow, and that means testing, researching, and sometimes failing. A lot of times, it's not just about having a unique idea, but understanding the market and its needs. It's about solving a problem in a new or better way.
I like that point, solving a problem. So, do you think a successful entrepreneur needs to be a problem solver first, or more of a visionary who just knows what's going to work in the future?
That's a good question. I'd say it's a balance of both. The visionary has to see the future, but the problem solver has to figure out how to make that future happen. In a way, the two roles overlap. If you're only thinking about the future but not addressing real-world issues, your business won't really connect with people.
Yeah, the vision is what keeps you going through the tough times. But what about once the business is up and running? Managing it day to day seems like another beast entirely. What's the secret to managing a venture effectively?
It's all about balance and prioritization. You've got to keep your eye on the big picture, but also handle the small, tactical things. Finances, team dynamics, customer feedback. A lot of entrepreneurs get overwhelmed and lose track of the core of their business. Regular reflection and clear goals can keep you grounded.
True. And then there's this whole thing about scaling. At what point do you think it's time to scale up, and how do you know if you're ready for that leap?
Scaling can be tricky. You don't want to grow too fast and outpace your ability to manage, but you also don't want to miss out on opportunities. I think it comes down to having a sustainable foundation, solid cash flow, a reliable team, and a customer base that's loyal. If you don't have those, scaling too soon could be risky.
Definitely. And then there's the funding side of things. Investors, loans, crowdfunding. Do you think there's a perfect way to raise capital, or does it just depend on the situation?
It really depends. If you have a solid track record, investors might be a good route. But if you're just starting out, crowdfunding or bootstrapping could make more sense. Some people want the big backing, but others prefer to stay independent for longer. You have to understand your business's needs and find the funding method that aligns with your goals.
That's a solid approach. So, what's the biggest piece of advice you'd give to someone who's just starting their entrepreneurial journey?
I'd say don't rush, but also don't wait for perfection. It's easy to get stuck in planning mode, but real learning happens through doing. Start small, get feedback, adjust, and keep pushing forward. The journey's long, but every step counts.
And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, isn't it? It's messy, unpredictable, but it's all part of the learning process. Thanks for the insight today.
Anytime. Always a pleasure talking about the wild world of startups.